There we
Alright,
go. Well,
there we go. Let's knock this bad boy out. Hoorah!
Welcome.
Hoorah!
Support, no DQ.
Welcome everybody to the predictions for NXT TakeOver 25. We are the NXTeam. I'm your host, the Rated R reviewer Stephen Osborne, joined as always by the gentleman Jerry Slaughter.
Good evening, wrestling fans.
And Noah Foster, the simple man. How are you doing, Noah?
Doing well, gentlemen. It's been a while. We haven't done a video like this since WrestleMania where I won the title, so I look forward to finally getting off the shelf and defending against all of you. Let's do this.
Well, you kept one title.
Yeah, Noah one belt.
Much like Becky Lynch, you kept one title. You are the NXTeam champ. However, I believe it's Caitlin Aubrey that has the distinct...
No, Aaron.
Aaron Roca.
Aaron Roca. Holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
So,
congrats to her.
Congrats to Aaron. I thought Caitlin became a two-time champ. Never mind.
No, she almost did. Yeah, I almost actually became champion off that coin.
Yeah.
I just had really shitty picks for the second one.
You used the coin for Roman Reigns versus Elias.
Oh no, I swear I picked Elias for that one.
Well, I had you on a coin flip, I think, but
either way.
In fact, I can tell you right
Moving
now.
on. Hey, Ross, don't matter here. NXT matters.
Yep,
Yes,
NXT.
this is true.
This is the actual wrestling. This is the elite wrestling right here. The red and blue crap we just do as a formality. This is our bread and butter. This is what we watch almost religiously.
So we've
you know me.
Yeah.
We've decided to go in the generals order tonight. That is tag team titles first, followed by the mid-card title, in this case North American Championship, and then the grudge match or exhibition match, in this case Riddle versus Strong, women's title, men's title. And that is the general order.
The general order. It has prevailed so far in any NXT TakeOver I've watched.
Which is why we are going to go in that order tonight. I'm not so sure if that's the order that I'm going to predict that the show goes in this time. If only because the tag team title match is not only a fatal four-way, but it is also a ladder match.
I think that makes it more of a better kickoff match than anything, especially for a takeover. Because then you'll actually have the cool down match with Breeze. Get cool down, Breeze.
I think
if that puzzles you, it's probably because it almost sounds like a riddle, and that's a strong riddle, which is the third match.
Can you segue into the next two? If you can segue into the next two, I will turn over my my hosting duties. You can host the rest of the show.
I can't do anything with Baszler and Shirai, so I'm stuck there.
All right. So backing up to the tag team title match, let's start the predictions with that. We've got the Undisputed Era. That's Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. Now, there is the possibility that Bobby Fish will not be able to be in this match. It has been not even speculated. It's been reported that he suffered an injury. We don't know the extent of it.
To his arm with Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch.
But as of now, he has not been withdrawn officially from the match. And I think the next week's television tapings have already been taped. So if they were going to officially announce his injury and either a replacement or even just, we don't know who's going to be in the spot, but if they were going to announce it, I think they would have done so by now.
The Undisputed Era may even just be scratched from the match and make it a triple threat ladder match.
Let's just go into this assuming that the match is intact. It will be them versus the Street Profits. That's Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. It'll be versus also the Forgotten Sons. That's Steve Cutler, Wesley Blake. Hopefully we will see Jackson Riker around ringside there to help them. And even if they don't win, I still want to see him involved because there's no rules, man. There's no rules. First team to climb the ladder and retrieve the titles. You also have Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch in the match. I should mention that.
They're the dark horse, more or less.
I think they're the
really dark
winners.
Horse.
If there was a pinfall to this match, they would be there to take it.
Yeah.
That is my guess. But anyway, let's start with Noah.
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 Who you
Put me
got?
on the spot right away.
Who you got taking
of
home the
course.
titles?
This match is the most unpredictable to me because you got three teams that could potentially become tag team champs, and you got a former pair of tag team champs, and you got pretty much the most well put together team there with Undisputed Era. I keep going back to Adam Cole baby's speech about the Undisputed Era being draped in gold. But then I think about, okay, the next TakeOver after this, I'm just going to keep it quick though, because that's what we do. I am going to go with Undisputed Era.
What about you, Jerry?
I'm going to shock you guys a little bit. I'm going to say Forgotten Sons. I think they've been building them a lot more, especially with their attack on the War Raiders. Or my bad, that's not their name anymore.
The War Viking Experience.
The Viking War
Experience
the
Raiders.
Viking Experience Raiders, Norwegian thing.
The Raiders of Viking Wars Experience.
But I think if anything, I know the Street Profits will pull off some sick shit. I know Montez Ford's going to come off the ladder with that freaking fog splash of his, and that's going to take him out of the match. And Montez Ford, like he'll probably and Angelo Dawkins will do some power moves. We'll get Dave Birch and Oni Lorcan doing a whole bunch of suicide dives and European shit. But they're going to forget about the Forgotten Sons, and even more importantly, they're going to forget about Jackson Riker. You don't forget about Jackson Riker in this match. You don't forget about the Forgotten Sons, and they're going to walk out the champions.
All right.
Okay. There are only two people in my mind that I can see at the top of the ladder pulling down the titles. And that's either Kyle O'Reilly or Montez Ford. I cannot picture either of the Forgotten Sons up there, mostly because I only have to picture one because they look exactly fucking alike. Except one's now got a big fucking tattoo across his shoulders.
Shoulder blades, yeah.
I can't see Oni Lorcan or Danny Burch anywhere. I can't even picture them in this match. This is how forgotten they really are in NXT. I believe they need to shift to being an NXT UK tag team exclusively. Because they are never getting pushed in NXT.
No. I think this will probably be their final hurrah in that company.
And I'm fine with that, because NXT UK needs more and better tag teams.
At least more face ones.
This is true.
Keep in there.
Yeah, my thing is, do I go with the Street Profits? Because I believe if they're going to start a new chapter in the tag team division, this is who you go with. These are the guys that the crowd is behind, and it doesn't matter if you go forward with a babyface storyline or a heel storyline from this, the crowd is going to go with them.
Yeah.
As far as Undisputed Era goes, I would really love to see the night end with 3 of the 4 available men's championship title belts on the Undisputed Era.
Yeah.
And maybe that tips my hat for the main event, but I'm tempted to go with Noah on this, but at the same time, the Street Profits, I really could see that happening, and then just the crowd fucking exploding. And this is the kind of that's the kind of decision that Triple H would actually make without having to wait for the crowd to start making a hashtag.
Yeah.
Give the Street Profits a chance.
Yeah.
You know, because they keep toying with them, and yeah, the Forgotten Sons have sort of been getting a push, but I would say as far as limelight pushes go, the Street Profits over those last couple of weeks leading up to that match that they had with the War Raiders, where again they lost-ish.
Yeah.
They've both been getting in a pretty good.
I know.
You know you want to say Street Profits.
So I really do. I really do. And you know, fuck it. It's just predictions. I haven't won in a while, and who cares if I win or not? Honestly, I would love to see somehow the Street Profits take this.
There you go.
Montez Ford and Kyle O'Reilly up at the top, and fucking somebody does something. Angelo Dawkins or something. Somebody does something. Kyle O'Reilly goes away just long enough for Montez Ford to grab the fucking belts.
To the ladder and it just bounces up to the titles.
Honestly, I really do want to go with the Undisputed Era, but I kind of want to break it up.
Yeah.
A different person for each of us. So, let's move on to the North American Championship match. We've got the champion Velveteen Dream, the challenger Tyler Breeze, who came out of nowhere, apparently off of what is now confirmed a Dominik Dijakovic injury. Does anybody know what the injury is? How long the prognosis? Nothing.
No.
So
No,
he's just.
I think it's a knee injury though.
I was about to say, between him and Keith Lee, we never really know why they're injured. We just know they're gone.
Yeah, we just know stuff got forgotten. Oddly enough, the Forgotten Sons don't get forgotten because of an injury. They're just.
We'll just forget they're there.
Well, we forget who's who. That's what that is.
It's like they're in the opening montage. We're like, who are those guys? Oh yeah, Forgotten Sons.
We forget who's who to the point to where they have to have their names on their tights.
And that's why I think they'll win the belts. But going on.
So, I don't see Velveteen Dream losing the belt to Tyler Breeze.
No.
Easily.
Not easily. I'll say that much. I'm pretty sure the Velveteen Dream is going to keep the belt.
Me too.
Like for all intents and purposes, to either drop it to either Keith Lee or Dominik Dijakovic.
Dominik Dijakovic, please.
Yeah, the Dijakovic I think will be a dominant champion, especially since it seems like even Tyler mentioned it this past week on NXT television. The fact that everybody here is high on Velveteen Dream, but they're still seemingly not high enough on him up north to bring him up that way. So he's going to be taking his time down there for right now, probably building more feuds or at least building up more people, and then we'll eventually get the Dijakovic Dream match and it'll be over with.
I think the reason Velveteen Dream hasn't gotten called up yet is because Triple H is able to use the age card to keep him just as long as he possibly fucking can.
Mm-hmm.
Vince is like, who's that guy? I want that guy. Crowd loves that guy. That's something different. I've never seen that. Out of something that he created with his, idea of what that kind of character should look like.
Yeah.
But then Triple H is like, oh, well, he's only like 22, man.
He's 23 years old, man. He's got a long time ahead of him. Keep him down here for as long as humanly possible, like till he's 50.
Or at the very least, his late 20s, when he's seasoned, and I've gotten everything I can out of him and taught him everything I know, and then let him go to the main roster and marry the grandchild. And become the next generation Triple H. Who knows? Fuck, I don't know. I just think the reason he's staying as long as he has is because Triple H just won't let him go.
Yeah.
And for real, that's my hat tipping to Velveteen Dream because he really is amazing at this character.
He would get buried up there at this point under not even a stupid gimmick. They would take away whatever made him special and just ruin it.
Velveteen Dream all the way. What about you, Noah?
This is actually one of the easier matches I picked to call on the card. I mean, Tyler Breeze is being brought in, like you said, because a previous plan had to change. At least Triple H has a backup plan and a smart one. Velveteen Dream keeps the title all the way. I'm waiting for him to drop it to Dominik Dijakovic.
Yeah.
You went Velveteen Dream too, right, Jerry?
Yep.
All
VD all the way.
VD all the way.
VD all around.
Game over.
So, in the General's order, we're going grudge match or exhibition match next. In this case, the match without a title. Matt Riddle versus Roderick Strong. Matt Riddle lost last pay-per-view against Velveteen Dream. I don't think he's losing twice. And as we previously stated in What's NXT, Strong loses just fine.
Yeah.
Like, nobody ever thinks that Roderick Strong is getting buried by a loss, mostly because during the match he convinces you that he's just that good.
Yeah.
When he puts on 37 different ways of hitting a backbreaker, you're like, wow. And then he takes a pinfall and you're like, it happens.
Good showing from Roderick Strong. Excellent showing from Roderick Strong.
He didn't take the first 7 near falls, but then finally. Or he taps to the bro mission, probably.
He will be Matt Riddle's toughest opponent to date. I'll say that much. And with that, if for some reason Adam Cole wins the belt and the Undisputed Era wins the tag belts, it'll just make him that much more hungry. Not for the North American title. He'll actually want the NXT belt because he'll feel that he deserves it because he pretty much had Gargano beat that one night on the non-title match, but Adam Cole kicked him in the face. So, but yeah, Matt Riddle all the way. It's going to be the match that steals the show because it's going to be super vicious, super brutal, and to see how many times like Riddle can somehow find his way out of a backbreaker, only for Roderick Strong to put in a backbreaker anyway. That's going to be entertaining to watch.
What do you think he no-sells and hulks out of this week? Because the last 2 times it was the Enziguri. Don't Enziguri Matt Riddle.
The German suplex.
And then the German suplex, where he no-sold it, rolled through, came back, and delivered his own German suplex.
I think what he'll actually no-sell in this one will probably be a Roderick Strong sick kick. I think he'll eat that, just roll backwards, stand up, and just right as Roderick Strong's getting up, knee to the face.
Yeah, sounds good. You know Roderick way better than I do, so.
Well, Roderick's been in the business for almost 20 years now.
Yeah, but I've only ever seen him since he's been in NXT.
Oh, but you have to go back to Generation Next.
I don't have to.
Yes, you do.
Oh, but I have to.
The Ring of Honor people with Roderick Strong and Generation Next. You had Austin Aries, Alex Shelley, Jack Evans. Just an insane lineup for a group. And it was usually Roderick Strong and Jack Evans. You had the size and power of Roderick Strong and the height or the high flying abilities Jack Evans. It was such an awesome team. But Roderick used to do this thing where it's like he'd do the 3 backbreakers across his knee and then just pretty much do almost like a flatliner type thing. It was just nuts.
So, Noah, Roderick Strong or Matt Riddle?
Bro. Well, I mean, Jerry pretty much summed it up. He not only summed up how I feel like this match is going to go down, he also summed up what I feel like is going to be the next storyline coming out of this TakeOver as we head towards NXT TakeOver Toronto 2. Matt Riddle for the win here. Simple as that.
All right. Up next, we've got the NXT Women's Championship match. Shayna Baszler versus Io Shirai. Do we think that Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir are going to be at ringside?
Of course.
Or do we think that they're going to come to ringside later in the match? Or maybe Baszler does all of it all on her own? Noah?
Yes,
Well,
we looked at you first.
Last time, she literally did it all on her own in a multi-woman match. This is one-on-one. Unless they literally are just going to go shot in the dark and call shit up to the main roster, you could say they're not going to come ringside. They are. You could say Io's going to beat the crap out of her. But I don't see Shayna losing this title yet. I honestly want Shayna to drop it to Candice LeRae, so I'm picking Shayna to retain.
Jerry?
Oddly enough, I'm with Noah on this one. I think Shayna Baszler's going to end up dropping it to Candice LeRae, especially after the events of this past week with the beatdown that she got, and the fact they're actually building her up a little bit more. I do believe she needs to get rid of that stupid lion salt. If she's not going to land it right, they need to find something else to give to her. But otherwise, Io Shirai, I can see her possibly losing and joining up with the rest of the Kabuki Warriors. But after the fact of that, no, I don't see anything else going on with Io Shirai. That whole bully angle is going to be over, and it's going to be Candice LeRae all the way against Baszler, possibly for Toronto. That'd be a really cool match. So that'd be great.
Okay, so Raw's ratings have been, let's just say it, tanking since
Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, there it is. I remembered. I went through the tag team match and I remembered everybody's names.
Yeah.
And I get to Ronda Rousey. I should remember that. No.
Oh yeah, from the reaction from the WrestleMania video.
So she's been missing since Mania, and ratings have been tanking because everybody knew that was her last match. For some reason, she's gonna go be a mom, I guess. Or maybe they're saving her and bringing her back as a surprise.
Her hand is broken, and she's also trying to have a kid at this point.
Impregnation vacation.
Boom chicka laka boom boom.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
Chocolate milk and Popeyes.
You said something earlier about a possible just instant call-up for Shayna Baszler because they need her. Because Vince thinks that maybe if he puts another legitimate former MMA fighter in the Raw mix for the title, especially against Becky, especially somebody as big of a heel as Shayna Baszler is and as good as she is in the ring, against Becky, who would be so much better than another program with Lacey Evans.
Oh God, yes.
Absolutely.
And that could happen.
It could vary up the competition very much so.
Other than the tag team title match, we have agreed on everything, and there's a good chance in the main event we might agree on everything. And I'm very tempted to go Io Shirai here.
Is that your final answer?
Hold on, he's taking a dramatic puff.
NXT 25. Yes. I'm going Io Shirai.
All right.
I'm a huge Baszler fan. I think everybody knows this. And if I'm calling it from my heart, Baszler wins without Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir ever coming to ringside. She does it all on her own, but they haven't been telling that story.
Correct.
And
it seems like Shirai has been the only one she's really need help with.
Well, the last several times that Shayna has called upon Duke and Shafir, they have been successful.
Yeah.
We are due for a loss, I think. And damn it, I'm hoping to win this weekend with Io Shirai.
All right.
Or lose with Io Shirai. Baszler has nothing left to prove. She's had a long enough run. She's been a two-time champion, the only two-time champion. And they could really use her on Raw. They could really use her. Whether you bring Duke or Shafir with her at this point, I could give a fuck. I don't care if they aren't done getting trained. They don't have to get in the ring. They just have to stand at ringside with her.
As much as they need Shayna Baszler, I'm pretty sure NXT needs her more because
No, they don't. They don't. We no longer have a Cruiserweight Classic. They did the one and we're done. But we have the Mae Young Classic every year.
Yeah.
And NXT does not, in fact, need Shayna Baszler because there's so many out there, and they will never be short of new female wrestlers.
Okay, we don't need Shayna Baszler to fail.
If he brought her in because, if he brings her in, he's bringing her in to fill Ronda Rousey's spot. Do you think she's going to fail? I don't.
That'd be the only reason they would bring her up.
Yes,
because
exactly.
That.
But I honestly believe that they are aware that the tie-in to the ratings is not only moving Roman Reigns from Raw to SmackDown, but it was also losing Ronda Rousey after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So I feel like they could easily just say, look, we want Shayna. She's going to...
Especially with the Fox move coming.
She's going to start after the next pay-per-view or whatever. Anyway, let's move on to the main event, the NXT Championship. You've got the champion Johnny Gargano versus the challenger Adam Cole. And I think I gave my thoughts away earlier, but let's start with you, Noah, since it is the main event. Who you got?
I mean, look, they keep prophesizing this. 2019, the Undisputed Era will be draped in gold. But you got one odd man out, and we've already seen the feud in between the two. I feel like there's going to be a battle not only for leadership of Undisputed Era, but for the title too. And it's going to come down to Adam Cole versus Roderick Strong. When is that going to happen? I truly believe and wanted to have it at NXT TakeOver Toronto too. So that's why I'm simply going to say Adam Cole wins.
See, this is what I feared. What about you, Jerry?
Gargano.
You know what? That actually, he's going with the safe bet here, I think.
Yeah.
I was thinking that too, but the way I see it is this. Johnny Gargano, he's had his moment, okay? He's faced everybody he could possibly face. How many more times are you going to do Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole after this if he somehow does retain? And would they really do Johnny Gargano versus Roderick Strong? I don't see that.
I just, for some reason, I see Johnny Gargano actually pulling off the victory, especially since Cole keeps on bragging about the fact that he beat him in that first match. So, like, it only makes sense that, like, he more or less gets the win back. So, I want Adam Cole to win. Don't get me wrong. I've been watching Adam Cole since his debut in Combat Zone Wrestling. I've watched the guy blossom, and I know he's going to be big, regardless of if he wins this belt right now or not. But I still want to see a feud between him and Strong. That's impending as well. Whether it be for the belt or not, it's going to be an awesome feud. But do I see Gargano dropping the belt at this takeover? No.
Okay.
Johnny Gargano has already debuted on both Raw and SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
We don't know where they were going with that because of Ciampa's injury.
Mm-hmm.
But he's already got one foot out the door. And he got the title finally, and he's held it, and it's now an appropriate time to take him fully to the main roster. And I think this is where you do it, and Adam Cole wins. And maybe Johnny Gargano comes out and he says his goodbye, or maybe he tries challenging one more time. Who knows? But I see Adam Cole finally getting the NXT Championship. And this is where he does it, at NXT TakeOver 25. So I'm going Adam Cole.
Okay.
Hey. All right.
All right. One last thing.
Order of matches.
Yeah, match order. I've already got my order, which is what we went in. The tag match: Breeze versus Dream, Riddle versus Strong, Shirai versus Baszler, and Cole versus Gargano. And if you even if you like just imagine the card, like the matches as you just played them out in your head, that's the order they're going to appear in.
I don't think you start the show with the tag team titles. In fact, I think for some reason you start the show with the North American Championship. So I'm going to go North American title, and then Riddle versus Strong, and then the tag team titles, and then the Women's Championship, and then the NXT Championship. Noah?
I've noticed a trend here with takeovers. They always seem to start with the tag team title match. The difference here, it's a fatal four-way ladder match for the vacant tag team titles. That'd be an incredible hot start. I can't see that going anywhere else in the card, especially with the several of those ladders. So I'm going to say that opens the show. Now, the difference between this takeover and the previous takeover was all title matches. This one, you got title, and then you got a showcase, a challenge of strength. So do you go with the mid-card title, or do you go with the showcase of strength next? That's the tough part. So I'm just gonna say, damn it, because I don't see them changing the whole thing about the women and the men titles going back to back. The hell of it. Tag team titles are first. Riddle versus Strong second. Breeze versus Dream third, and then the women and the men respectively.
So I think we all agree that the last two matches are going to be the women's and men's main titles.
The top singles belts are always.
It's the consistent formula, it seems.
Yeah.
At what point do we think that the women's title match is going to have the kind of heat that is going to garner a main event spot where the men's title gets pushed back to third or fourth?
1 second. I got that answer somewhere. Never.
Wow. Good one, Jerry. I think it could happen, but it's definitely not Baszler and Shirai.
You pretty much have to catch lightning in a bottle like you did with the feud between Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and Ronda Rousey at that point. And you don't really have that kind of time for a feud to build up in NXT. And especially with the way they have their matches set up and the way the call-ups have been happening from NXT at this point, it's really hard to have a long-standing feud, or at least a good simmering one like that, and have it be a main event for a takeover. So
I think the closest to that was probably Asuka versus Ember Moon, and even that didn't close the show.
Yeah,
it's true.
And then we also had Bayley versus Banks, but that was a takeover show as well.
That was the birth of the Women Evolution, so-called WWE, at the very first NXT takeover, Brooklyn.
Yeah,
good match.
But yeah, It seems like it's a ways off if it's going to happen at all. It's not sexist or anything. It's just the fact that the women's title isn't as held in high regard as the actual NXT title itself.
I think it depends on there is, I think, the possibility of it happening even soon. It all depends on the men's roster.
Yeah.
When you've got Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano, that is definitely the main event. But if you had Baszler and Shirai and the NXT championship for some reason was tied into guys that are more like upper mid-carders or mid-carders, I could see Baszler and Shirai being the last match. So it is possible. It's just they always seem to have such a good roster of male superstars that it's inevitable.
Well, as long as they're still filtering them out of Evolve and Progress and some of the guys out of Ring of Honor or even Impact even at this point. So
that is our predictions for NXT TakeOver 25, and let's do the plugs. It's got to happen.
Yep.
Noah Foster.
Okay. First off, good luck to everybody. And for those that want to know me, know this. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just a simple man and a lifelong fan of wrestling. So if you want to talk wrestling and follow me anywhere, you can look me up on Twitter, nodq.com/Noah takes my Twitter, or look up my simple YouTube channel here at youtube.com/users/NoahFoster210, where you'll find my weekly series on the Cruiserweight division, Cruiserweight Wrestling, called 205 Life Matters, as well as predictions and retrospectives for pay-per-views and tour specials outside WWE. Also, just keep following NoDQ. They're the biggest inspiration why I do this, along with these two gentlemen. Follow them on Aftermatch Wrestling as well.
Thank you.
So, I'm just keeping it simple. You know the site. You should know it by now. You keep watching our stuff. NoDQ.com/shirts, NoDQ.com on all your social media platforms. React, find someone to talk with. Your opinions matter. Go find a friend. Go find an enemy. Whatever you choose to be.
Mm-hmm.
And as always, I'd like to close. Support your local wrestling outlets, big and small. And let's keep growing this wrestling community together. Simple as that.
Thank you, Noah. And to any of you, those of you out there that are NXT fans that don't know the show, we do What's NXT every week on NoDQ.com, his YouTube channel. And it's me and the General. And then if you like NXT UK, we actually do a review show for that, the NXT Party, where we have Noah and Cindy and Colin and Chris and James and Owen and fellow NXTeam members on the big screen. You can be on the big screen as well if you want to help us review a future episode of NXT UK. Just find me on Twitter. Go to nodq.com/Stefan. That's STEFAN. If you just want to find me on Twitter, it's at Stefan R. Osborne, OSBORNE. As always, the R stands for restricted. You can also find the gentleman on Twitter as well.
At NoDQ General, and also in my Facebook group Armbar, all capital ARMBAR, exclamation point. Have Stefan there as a administrator, I think, by title, kind of like Brock Lesnar was champion.
I like stuff here and there.
Yeah, but I like things.
Stuff here and there.
He likes stuff.
Noah's in there on occasion, mostly, sometimes, every now and then. You have to tag him.
Once in a while.
Yeah, but
I'm socially awkward.
But yeah, right. Just come and join us. We have a whole bunch of different memes, a whole bunch of different conversations, fantasy booking. I fantasy book the hell out of shit. And just a good time. So find us on there. Don't try to add us on Facebook as a friend because it's just not going to work out well for you in any way, shape, or form.
No. And if you get added on Armbar and told not to add us on Facebook, and you add us on Facebook and Jerry finds out, sorry whoever the fuck you were. But yeah, he went in and deleted him from Armbar. He's like, I told him not to do that.
Yeah.
Told him not to do that. I was like, man, I'm just gonna delete him from now on.
It's like you might as well do a Titus World slide under the ring because you're not getting back into the group.
Yeah, find us on Twitter if you want to talk wrestling. Don't find us on Facebook because I want to keep my spoilers away from my Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, I'm staying off of all social media because we are coming off of AEW's Double or Nothing, and I don't want to know anything that happened because I'm going to get a chance to watch it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I want to be surprised by everything. Yeah. So I'm staying off of social media. That's going to be difficult. But anyway, you can find us on social media, but you can also find us on YouTube. We have our channel, Aftermatch Wrestling. That's all one word, AFTERMATCH. Aftermatch Wrestling. You can get all of our videos, something like a half a day to several hours early, and you get them in HD. And we are on our way to 100 subscribers. We're at like 78 now.
78. We need 22 more.
And at 100 subscribers, we will be doing our NXT review show every week. What's NXT? Live.
You can have your toaster waffles and listen to us talk about wrestling.
It'll be about 7 o'clock Eastern time on Thursday morning, somewhere around there. And we will, yes, do them live. That way you can ask us questions and we can answer them at the end of the video.
We'll be on your morning commute.
So if you like this video, click the like button that's underneath me. If you like all of our videos, you should click the subscribe button that's underneath Jerry. And if you are watching this on Aftermatch, please do us a favor. Click the share button and share us on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube. And share us with your friends. And if they like NXT, hopefully they will like the video, subscribe, help us get to 100 subscribers. Mm-hmm. And if you do subscribe to Aftermatch, do yourself a favor and click the bell icon. Because if for some reason we got 22 viewers or 22 new subscribers in the next couple of days, Thursday morning we will do What's NXT live, and the bell will let you know that it went up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or that you can catch us live while you're getting ready for work. So, I think that's all the plugs.
Yeah.
For the Simple Man, Noah Foster. For the General, Jerry Slaughter. I am the Wizard of No DQ, Stephen Osborne. And thanks for joining us, and we will see you NXT time.
Have a good night, folks.
Support No DQ.
And I'll be live streaming during TakeOver as well.